You cannot scroll through the news right now without seeing it. Layoffs, restructuring, people leaving jobs they have had for years, some by choice and some not. Maybe you are one of them. You have to start over and find a new career, and you are doing everything you are supposed to do, but everything still feels off. I get it. And in this video, I want to talk to you about why that keeps happening, because the reason is not what most people think. Hi, I'm Kizzy Rodney. Your voice is your strategy. Let me show you why. I want to ask you something. When you think about the roles you have been applying for or the role you just took, did you ask yourself, am I choosing this because it feels right or because it feels safe or what people expect? That question matters more than any career advice you are going to get right now. Trust me when I tell you that most people are not deciding what to do next from a place of clarity. They are making choices from a place of relief. And relief and right are not the same thing, because relief goes away. And then you're sitting in a role 6 months later wondering how you ended up back in the same place or having that same feeling again. So what is actually going on here? I do not think most people have a good name for what they are experiencing. And without a name, it's really hard to move through it. But I will tell you what it is. What you are in is called silence. And it's not about being introverted or shy or lacking confidence. Silence is what happens when your voice inside you, the one that knows what you actually want, what lights you up, what feels like you, goes so far into the background that you can no longer hear it. And here is why a layoff triggers this so hard. Think about what your job was actually doing for you beyond the paycheck. Your title told you who you were when someone asked at a dinner party. Your company gave you a community, a structure, a reason to get up and show up. Your role gave you a daily answer to the question of what you do here. And now you're looking for those answers, but you cannot find them because they were baked into your day-to-day. And then you get laid off and all of that is gone. So now you're sitting with a level of uncertainty inside you that most of us aren't prepared for. Not just the stress of finding the new job now, but something that goes deeper than that. You are now uncertain about who you are when the job is not there to answer that question for you. And when that happens, when you cannot hear yourself clearly anymore, you look at your options and everything either feels like that's not you or that you have no clue what you want. Nothing excites you. Nothing feels like a clear yes. And you start to wonder if something is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. It's just that your voice went quiet and the world kept moving and kept sending you job postings, giving you advice about your resume and your LinkedIn. But nobody stopped to say, before you do any of that, you need to go back and find yourself first. And this is why you can apply to 100 roles and still feel like nothing fits. It is not that the right opportunity has not come along. It is that you are trying to make decisions without the one thing that makes any decision feel right, your own voice. Think about the last time you made a professional decision that came from what you actually wanted. Not what made sense on paper, not what your family thought was smart, not what the market seemed to be calling for, what you wanted. For most of us, we have to go back years to find that moment. And that tells you everything about how long this has been building. Now, this exact thing happened to me. So I'll tell you a quick story. In 2011, I built my first coaching and motivational speaking business. I had the website ready, the photo shoot, and I started getting clients signed up. And for the first time in my career, I felt like I was doing exactly what I was supposed to do. And then I walked away from it all. I told myself it was not practical enough. It was not stable enough. And then I went back to my safer path. I thought I was being responsible, but what I was actually doing was choosing safe over right. And I didn't even realize it at the time. And it was not until 2023 when I was standing on a stage and I felt a shift in me that I had never felt in any other role. And then after that, a colleague pulled me aside and said, "You need to be on stage more. I would travel to hear you speak again." And that was the moment that I stopped being able to ignore my own voice. And looking back now, I can see that everything between then and now that was living inside me was my silence. doing what made sense to everyone around me while the thing I actually wanted sat in the background waiting. So, how do you stop this loop? You use what I call the 5-minute truth. 5 minutes, no distractions, just you telling yourself the truth. Give yourself 5 minutes before your next job application, before your next networking call, before your next career coaching session. Then sit down somewhere and ask yourself this question out loud. If nobody was watching and nothing was at stake financially, what would I actually want to be doing with my professional life right now? You do not have to have the full answer. You just have to be willing to hear whatever comes up, because whatever surfaces, even if it feels incomplete or a little scary or entirely, not practical, that's the beginning of your voice coming back. That is the first sign that silence is starting to lift, and it only takes you 5 minutes. 5 minutes of truth. 5 minutes. Sit down and give yourself that 5 minutes. That will allow you to land in the career, in the job. You owe it to yourself to give you 5 minutes of clarity before you make your next move. I also must say this. I know that not everyone has time to sit with their feelings when the bills are piling up. If you are in a position where you need to land something fast because the financial pressure is real and urgent, I am not telling you to stop the search. What I am telling you is that if you need to move fast, you can still be intentional about it. The difference between the two is asking yourself that question before every application instead of firing things out in a panic. That 5 minutes before each application is not going to slow you down. It might save you from landing in the same wrong place again 6 months from now. And you have worked too hard to be there again. So that uncertainty, that uneasy feeling, and that confusion, it's coming from your voice going quiet. And no one told you how to go back and find it before trying to figure out what comes next. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about what happens after silence. Stick with me because I can show you how to end this loop. There is a stage where your voice starts to come back in a way most people do not recognize at first, but I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like and how to pay attention to it when it happens. So subscribe so you can catch that one when it drops. If you would like more dedicated support in moving through your career transition, you can find a link in my description where you can contact me directly and we can set up an exploratory call. Your voice is still there. It just has been waiting for you to come back to it. I am here to help you use your voice as your strategy.